The CME started offering a mini silver contract over the weekend, and here to talk about what that might be for investors is Phil Streible of RJU Futures. Phil, thanks for being with us on this Monday from Chicago.
Well, thanks for having me.
So, Phil, what is this mini silver contract?
Well, basically it's a 1,000-ounce silver contract as opposed to the large traditional 5,000-ounce contract. The benefits of it is that it's going to reach out to a broader audience. It'll also be able to trade their account a little bit more proportionally on the margin size. The 5,000-ounce silver carries a larger margin requirement. Also, it carries a larger commitment. I mean, with silver right around $21 an ounce, you're talking about $105,000 for full contract value, whereas opposed on that mini, it's going to be right around $21,000. So if a trader wants to start accumulating, warrants or, for delivery, they can, put up the $21,000, go along the futures contract right here and start building a claim against 5,000 total ounces of silver. So it's a nice way of, getting exposure to the market, not paying that additional premium by going out and, going to coin shops and pawn stores and trying to build that 1,000 ounce. You could do it all at once.
So why would this contract come out now as opposed to last week or 2 years ago?
Well, they've had those contracts in the past. The only difficulties have been is attracting the right amount of liquidity, also the right market makers on it. The problem that I've seen in the past is the bid-offer spread. Yeah, they're very tight at the start, but the problem is that the depth below it. So if you start to see a big washout on silver, there's a lot of a lack of market participants. And if you have a stop working, 20, 30 cents lower on the large contract, you could expect to get filled right around those levels. But on the mini, what happens is those stops, once they get executed, they become market orders to hit the next available bid, and the bids might not be lacking there, so you end up getting filled 40, 50 cents below, and that's been a problem in the past. But I think that some of those issues have been addressed here, and I anticipate this contract should get some really positive feedback.
Well, let's turn to the price of silver. Having a tough time hitting that $22 mark, where are you guys expecting it to go this week?
I still anticipate that we trade in a tighter range. Silver hasn't really benefited from platinum or palladium going up or the equity markets. It's been really tracking the gold market, and it's been, hindered by any kind of upward movement in the dollar index. I think that silver, on the low side, I'm still thinking, right around the $21 range. On the high side, I think like 22.5 for the week. We're really going to be watching for the Fed announcement on Wednesday. They're probably going to come out and hammer on two different topics. It's going to be inflation, the jobs, and also, keeping up with the quantitative easing. The problem is they'll probably say that they're keeping up with the quantitative easing right away. You'll probably see silver and gold prices rally, but then after that they're going to say, hey, we see no inflation at all, and you'll see those prices settle right back down. We've kind of seen that type of V-shaped pattern the last 3 or 4 Fed announcements.
All right, Phil. Well, as always, thanks so much for your take on these things.
Well, thank you for having me.
You heard Phil. There's a new mini silver contract available. You might want to take a look at that. And as for silver prices, keep your eyes on the Fed. I am Joe Deaux, The Street.